as always. You better leave that question alone, which I have already answered. And shift to the other question, please.
This is not asked previously, Hazur.
Fine?
This is not asked. The one I am asking now is not asked.
Before. Thank you.
As per my knowledge is.
Okay.
The currency in most of the countries display the images of the head of the state. Would this practice be allowed when the head of state is an Ahmadi? Also, if a country elected to install a statue of an Ahmadi dignitary, what would be the attitude of the Jamaat? And would an Ahmadi head of state allow such statues being put up? Could Hazur kindly advise us about the teachings of Islam on these matters?
No, the question is twofold. As far as the teachings of Islam are concerned, I can answer this question positively. But as far as this, this hypothetical question is concerned, that what would happen in future, I don't know whom are you talking about, A wrong-minded person would react differently and a right-minded person would react differently. So how can I answer this hypothetical question when nothing has taken shape so far? And I don't know anything about those future kings and monarchs and the models of statues and everything. So it's just absurd for me to answer that question because that won't be common sense at all. As far as the first part is concerned, statue making for the sake of idolatry is positively prohibited. There is no doubt about it. Also it is prohibited when there is a danger that although the modeler does not, or the sculptor I should say, does not models his statue for the sake of idolatry, but there is an inherent danger that this would ultimately lead people to that. In both these cases, it is un-Islamic and it is very strongly condemned and rejected. But if these two dangers are, there is no danger of such possibilities, these two which I have mentioned. In that case, modeling by itself, in itself, is not prohibited. If it serves some purpose. The only purpose for which this is prohibited is the purpose of idolatry. Or as I have mentioned, if such an act may ultimately lead to idolatry. So in the modern times, I don't think this sculpture making has any connotation of idolatry at all. Or at least mostly it doesn't have, except in the Christian themes, where of course it has that. So if a king's picture is created, his silhouette is created, his shape is given to a stone, and nobody can ever misunderstand what is meant from this. Or even you visit Madame Tussauds, there the wax figures of so many people are so beautifully carved. Now, if it had been haram, you shouldn't have gone there at all to visit that haram. The purpose is so different. It is just to introduce almost like live the pictures of some important people, both famous and notorious. So because that purpose in itself is not wrong, so no objection is taken to that. So it all depends from place to place and situation to situation. The same thing may be declared wrong, and the same thing may be declared right according as it is found to occur. Is that all? Okay. If someone someone would like to ask, please come here. Assalamu alaikum.
First of all, I thank my nephew, Mr. Mahmood, who provided me with a chance to attend this meeting.
Would you kindly introduce yourself first?
My name is Raza Nadir.
Raza?
Raza Nadir.
Raza Nadir.
I have come from Islamabad.
I see.
I live in Islamabad.
That's right.
I am on a visit to meet my relatives here.
Right, very good.
Mahmood is my nephew.
You're most welcome.
Thank you very much.
Who's your nephew?
Mahmood Ahmed.
Acha. Yes. Now I know. Yes.
So, incidentally, I am here, so I wanted to put some questions,
Yes, please.
and which are not clear to me.
Please do.
First of all, from Quran, how many years Hazrat Nuh lived in this world? First question.
Hazrat Nuh I can tell you what, he did not live personally for 950 years. But his Shariat lived for that period. It is the style of the Holy Quran that if a mention in Bible is made to something which may have been understood wrongly, the Holy Quran either rectifies it or rejects it or repeats it in the same way so that people may not misunderstand about what had been said. Now, this portion of the Bible has been taken exactly by the Holy Quran with some slight improvisation. So that shows that in the first instance it was not interpolated into the Bible. It was not added into the Bible. It was exactly what Allah had said.
Yes, sir.
But meaning something different. Now why I say that he did not live and the Holy Quran does not mean that he lived that long is because the history tells us otherwise. Hadhrat Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam was born according to the chronology of Bible and the history, whatever history is preserved about these prophets, exactly or almost exactly 900 years after Hazrat Nuh. So, if Hazrat Nuh had lived for 950 years, still he would be there with his Sharia and he would be still living, and all that had happened within that time would be under his observation. And what we find is that not only that is not correct historically, but when Hazrat Ibrahim appeared, the whole of the population of that area had become idolaters. And there was no ray of light left, no ray of truth. So how could it happen? Where had Hazrat Nuh gone? What he was doing in that old age when a full people were destroyed because of rejecting him, and once he was given ascendancy, he ended up in a prophet whose followers had entirely and totally gone corrupt. It is impossible. Obviously it has to be rejected. So in the light of the history, in the light of the facts we know, in the light of the facts related by the Holy Quran, Hazrat Ibrahim ﷺ is mentioned in the Holy Quran in a manner that no mention of Noah is made along with him. On the contrary, it is said that Noah was a thing of the past when Hazrat Ibrahim ﷺ appeared. In some places the Holy Quran says before him, and the Noah is related to be a man of the past as compared to the following later prophets. Ibrahim is included in that list of the later prophets. Min qablihi is positively mentioned in the Holy Quran. So leaving the history aside, if you must insist that I should base my arguments on the Holy Quran, it is very clear that the Holy Quran does not mean that Noah lived himself 950 years. So what it may mean?
He didn't live.
His period of Sharia, the life of his Sharia was 9